We're live. Blake Guss. Is Guss your last name?
Yes, sir.
It is, just like that.
It's so funny. So many people always in school or something, Gus Blake.
Yeah, yeah.
It's two first names.
It's two first names. Yeah, Guss, I've never heard Gus.
It's not a common.
Not as a last name.
No.
Blake is actually probably more of a common last name, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I would say. No, but it's awesome meeting you in person. We were talking about it before we pressed record here, how we've seen each other on social media and we've communicated via DM a few times, and this is long overdue, but it's funny when you put an actual face to what you see all the time. So it really is a pleasure to meet you in person. I offered you a juice, but you said you're on a cleanse. So I want to tap right into that.
Sure.
Because for those that don't know, I mean, you are somebody who you stay very positive. You're very motivational. I want to get into your framework and how you do that personally, and then what your goal and mission is as to how to promote that and share that with people and instill that. So start with your fast. What kind of fast are you on right now?
So right now, I'm just going to eat at about 2 o'clock today.
Okay.
But I've been doing lately 36-hour fasts once or twice a week.
Really?
And I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
I've been doing fasting since 2017, just the intermittent fasting. Like I first
started so like a 12 to 7, 8.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
I started out doing like 10 to 6.
Yep.
But then I just started getting more into it, and then seeing all the benefits of it. And it's just something that really suits me.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoy those days where I don't have to worry about what I'm going to eat. And I don't feel hungry, actually, once you get used to it.
Yeah.
I do drink coffee. I do drink electrolytes and water.
Anytime I've ever done a fast, I'm drinking coffee. I'm pounding coffee. It's like the one thing I look forward to. Yeah.
It helps a lot.
It helps. Keeps you going a little bit. What got you into fasting? What was the reason that you got into it?
At first, it was just for the physical benefits.
Okay.
But I would say now there's so many other benefits, the focus, and also my 3 pillars, like you talked about, what keeps me grounded is developing spiritually, physically, and mentally every single day. Mm-hmm. And I can't discount the benefits of also developing spiritually when I'm fasted. I just feel clearer and my meditation is clearer. My prayer is clearer. When I journal, it's clearer.
Yeah.
But I can't say it's not for everyone. I don't push it on everyone. You don't have to fast to be happy or anything like that. Just if it suits my body. I'm somebody who I can gain weight really easily. Mm-hmm. So it just suits my body and my metabolism.
And you feel at your best when you're doing it. You've learned over time what makes you tick, what makes you feel good. When you start tapping into that, it's funny because I went into I've had so many ebbs and flows. We all do. Like very high highs, very low lows. And when I kick up, I go all the way in. But then I'm a complete degenerate otherwise. Like I'm a glutton. I consume the wrong stuff. I'm like,
you're talking to me, brother.
Yeah, dude. I'm the same. I think it's a lot. I think it's the majority of people. And whether they go through ebbs and flows or not, it's either you do go. All right, I feel like there's almost stages. It's almost like there's different kinds of people. It's like you're either so consumed that you don't even know how to tap into your best because all you know is a lot of food or bad consumption of whatever, social media. I mean, all these different things. So you've never actually gotten out of it. So there's those people who think that it's normal,
right,
but they have never tapped into that spiritual. Then there are those that go through the ebbs and flows that start to feel the difference. Like when you're at your best, when you're feeling really, really good, it's usually when you've tapped into working out, staying active, eating a certain way, being more disciplined in many aspects of your life. Doesn't mean you don't dabble or lose yourself. And then there are those that are all the way.
Well, you've been killing it. That's actually, I reached back out to you from your stories.
Yeah. I'm locked in.
The challenge.
I'm so locked in.
And you were like, I don't care. I have my shirt off. I was like, it's good that you do it because we can see the difference. Like, who cares, right? I love that because you could see like, wow, it was 30 days.
30 days was the goal. I told myself.
But you kept it going.
Yeah, but my daughter, bro, when my daughter was on her way, my wife said to me, I've said this a couple times on the podcast. I've said it with a few people as well. My wife said to me, would you want your daughter dating somebody like you? And that hit me like a ton of bricks, dude. When I tell you hit me like a ton of bricks. Yeah, because
in a lot of ways, yes. I know you're being hard on yourself.
In so many ways, yes. No. I even said to her, I'm like, in so many ways, yes. The prideful egotistical side of me, which is it's in everybody to some degree. Right. Yeah. And you need a little bit of it. You just got to know how to zero in on being, don't be an asshole. But a little bit of it is good. But no, yes, for so many reasons. And then I know all the reasons why not. I know all the reasons. I know when I've slipped. Yeah, and what do I want my daughter to, one, look up to? How do I want her to view dad? That's one. And then the other side of it is, if I'm going to be how she views a man, then what is that, who is she comparing? What is she comparing her potential boyfriend, husband to? And who's the example? And so it hit me, and it was a very honest question, and I delivered a very honest response.
I absolutely love the honesty with yourself.
Yeah.
That's what everything that I'm about is, not lying to yourself, which we continually do.
Yep.
And sometimes we don't realize we do. That's what got me in such a deep depression and anxiety. Like why I even got into meditation.
Yeah.
But that is amazing. And it makes you really look at yourself, right? Like when I started to really look at myself and see, it's not easy to see. And the trick is also through meditation, it took me a long time because I'm also that all in or all out. So I adapted like a more Goggins type of attitude.
Yep.
But then that wasn't serving me either. And I started to learn about the self-love. Like that never touched me, like self-love, self-compassion.
Well, who was promoting it to you too? I mean, where
That's true.
Did you have somebody in your life that was?
That's true. But I was learning about spirituality. I was picking up personal development books, and some of them would mention it, but I just never, it never hit me, or I never understood what that actually means. But now I actually do, and maybe you could call it self-compassion, which actually means being disciplined. It's like being a good parent. It's that balance of being hard on yourself, but also giving yourself grace too. Like what I mean is not seeing your flaws through a lens of judgment, because that's what's so hard. Like with you, like what came up for me, I don't have any kids, but if I have a daughter, like if I'm looking back on myself, like, oh, I need to improve this, I need to prove that. Yeah, something I struggle with my whole life. Not to go super deep. I think you don't care at all. Men we deal with lust. Like that was one of my biggest issues when I was in my early 20s.
Lust has always been my biggest issue. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I'm an addict, right? And I'm not your stereotypical addict, right? I'm not the person that whatever picture you've been painted of an addict, right? Like the visual, the drugs. I've had my fun, don't get me wrong, and I've learned from my mistakes, but I was a functioning addict. I'm somebody who could pull the wool over your eyes in the midst of my chaos.
I was the same.
Yeah. And so nobody knew it. Like if you know I partied, yes, I partied. If you knew that I had like lustful desires, right? I've been with my wife for 18 years.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. It's amazing because she's an amazing person. She's an amazing human being, right? And she's a good human being. Like to her core is a good human being, which is rarer and rarer nowadays.
It's the most important thing, right?
Yeah, and she makes me a better person when I'm honest with myself. I know that, right? So I can sit here all day and come up with a million different reasons as to why I'm unhappy or why I don't like this or what I want and all these different things. But the pros will always outweigh the cons, always. And I remind myself of that a lot, right? And so whether it's pornography or even just looking at a woman and having a desire and like even flirting, I mean, anything is disrespectful when push comes to shove, and not just to her, but to myself.
That is deep. And I think that is something that we need to hear. It has to, without judgment, like you said before.
Oh, it's real.
Do you? No, but you're so much happier.
Yes.
When I had posted yesterday a post from this guy, Jiddu Krishnamurti, who's like a really famous author. It's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. And I was mostly talking about health, but it also comes in this. It's so normalized, right? And I didn't grow up in a religious household. I didn't grow up, my father was a womanizer. I didn't grow up with those morals, so to speak.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had my grandparents in my life who did have those morals, but still, what I'm saying is I didn't even know it was wrong to act that way, to always.
I don't think a lot of people do.
You're the man, as many women as you get, and this kind of thing, and you start chasing that. And I didn't realize, also back to the spirituality too, that's what was so deep for me. Through meditation, I realized I'm actually looking for a relationship with something higher, something greater. I'm actually looking for love and acceptance in a different way than what I'm always seeking for.
Break that down. What is that love, and what is it that you're chasing, going after? What is it exactly? Do you know? Is it a spiritual thing? Is it I
would say, well, first off, I'm not religious. I'm spiritual.
Yeah, yeah.
You ever see He Got Game?
Yeah, I have seen He Got Game, of course.
he says, he's like, no, I'm more spiritual.
Yeah.
Because some people too, when you say spiritual, they think, oh, I'm wearing a robe and
No.
beads. It doesn't mean that. It means actually just about the truth. Like, I like to learn from Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad. I don't take it as a frame and these are the rules. So, but I believe there's one divine God that all the religions talk about it the same. So
we align.
We
align.
I love that. Well, there's no reason, there's no coincidence. That's why I took it as an example. First off, you're about happiness, and there's a woman, Marie. I don't know her too well, but she's like, you need to meet Robbie Maxx.
Oh yeah,
I was like, okay,
that's amazing.
Yeah,
it's we align where you talked about religion. Whatever gives you faith, I'm all for. Whatever moves you in a positive direction, I'm all for. So whether you are Buddhist, Christian, Muslim, atheist. I mean, listen, whatever. Atheist is pushing it a little bit, but whatever keeps you faithful, as long as you're a good human being, good person, you can believe what you want to believe. Right. But I've always been a believer in how could there be so many religions, right? How could because then who's right?
That I always had the same thought, and I was so lucky to not grow up religious in that way. And then I really explored it a lot. I really got into it, reading, like
searching with
an open mind. When you hear someone talk about Jesus and they got conviction, it's like, wow, I better go check it out. And you see someone who's Muslim pray, like they stop their car to pray, get off the highway. Say, wow, it's devotion. Like maybe they know something I don't.
Correct.
And then you start getting into Buddhism. It's like, wow, it's pretty profound what they're saying. So I just went with an open mind. And like you said, what I saw a lot of times was thinking that we're the only ones that have the answer. We're the only ones that are right. And I was just open. But when I read it from an open mind, those different scriptures, I thought that they're all the same. There's so many overlapping.
They're rooted in the same truth.
Yeah. Can I give an example?
Yeah, please.
If you have gold bars, and you melt down gold bars and you make figures, like you make humans and you make animals, whatever, and then you paint those figures, right, where you can't tell it's gold, but then like different religions, whatever, and then you melt down those figures again, you'll realize it's all gold. We're all coming from the same source. That's not a material.
That's a very interesting example.
That's not a material.
Never heard anybody say it like that.
And even Neil deGrasse Tyson will tell you, physicists will tell you, we're made of the same stuff as the stars and whatever. We're really all coming from the same place. That's what I believe. I believe God cares about everything.
I believe that too. And the crazy thing is that there's this undertone of we'll never know. Right. And so that goes back to you searching and finding. I think we're always searching, but I think again, to go back to like where we were, what we were initially talking about is like, it comes from within. Like, I'm a believer that everybody, when they lay their head down at night or looks in a mirror, is telling themselves the truth more than they're not. And we don't know those moments. We don't know that person's moment, because that person, for all we know, could be painting a totally different picture out in the public and could be doing something. It could be going completely outside of what it is they told themselves while they stared at themselves in a mirror or when they laid their head down at night, were in their own little world. We don't know that. And I wish more people were brutally honest about what they're thinking in those moments there. Their truth. Because I think what happens is, I think people so many times, they start to, similarly to what, Chase, even religious conversations or whatever it is that you're searching for. I mean, you start to question yourself because of what the next person thinks or what the job says you're supposed to do or what your significant other, and so you try to make it make sense. But the thing that you are ignoring is the most important thing. And you're putting that on the back burner. And I think this is like routine day to day for the majority of people in the world.
100%. I love that. That's why the work that I work on is about self-reflection and releasing. Of course, I do just breathing. I do just relaxing when I go to companies and train them. But the thing that I'm most passionate about is, you finding the answers within yourself about yourself, getting to know yourself.
Each individual.
And there's so many blind spots, brother. Like you said, you're in a relationship with your wife for 18 years.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're really tight and probably have deep conversations, but still at the same time, there's things that you know about her that she doesn't know about herself, actually. Or you can see it in a different way. Or you said she tells you like, oh, you can change this, you can change that. She helps you improve. So in that same way, we do have some blind spots. of being able to see ourselves. So taking the time to come outside ourselves and see ourselves and see, of course, the things that we know that we're hiding. Yeah. But then there's even stuff that we don't know that we're hiding. But we're afraid to look. It's out of fear that we're afraid to look, and we don't know how to look, and we're afraid to go backwards if we do look. So that's why it's important also to look objectively, not through a lens of judgment. Yes. Because we're so hard on ourselves that it's like we wouldn't be able to live with ourselves if we looked at things we've done in our life through that lens. Yeah. But through grace, and you can let it go. You can let it go. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I do think it takes time. I think it takes a lot of honesty. I also think it takes removing yourself from a lot of your normal. And I don't think that's easy. You know, I remember being in high school, and I'm sure we all kind of relate to this to some degree, but like you think that when you're in your hometown or in your high school, that is the world. So like everybody who has an opinion on you, whether good or bad, is literally the shaping of your life, right? Everything you go through, everything you think it is just a bubble. And once that first bubble pops and you're in a new bubble and the bubble's a little bit bigger, let's say college, for instance, and just kind of going through the steps of, right? It breaks down that you were wrong about how everything is just a bubble. But now you're in this new bubble that also confines you. And so now this is this new experience of what I have to work through and who and what. And then you leave college. Now you're in the workforce. And now you're in the world. And now with the social media and the internet, you're connected to everything. And so now now it's almost, you're taking everything that you were and everything that you are and everything you went through. And then it takes a very intuitive and intellectual, wise mind to be able to compartmentalize that and use it versus be fearful of the, I mean, we could be fearful of the change, but to be fearful of the change moving forward and forget all that was based on this newfound experience that you're going through. And every time you step into a new experience, it just opens you up and it opens you up and it opens you up and you opens you up until you realize that no matter how you slice it, it's all of it is internal, every bit of it.
I love that. 100%.
Every bit of it. It takes a minute, everything. Though. It takes a minute.
Of course.
I don't think a lot of people are even capable of, not capable. I think so many people are going to go through their entire life, never truly until it's too late or there's less time.
That's the thing. So I think that's the journey of life. Some people, it takes a lot of different things, right? Yeah. For me, I had to go through deep emotional pain to push me to try to look for answers, right? Like, so that actually helped that. And that happens to people, or they lose someone suddenly, or they have a near-death experience, usually traumatic, or there's all kinds of things that happen.
Did you
or they
have
go through a divorce or this, whatever.
Did you have one? What was was there a moment that kind of pushed you in this direction?
There wasn't a moment, but I was, like you talked about stuffing down your stuff. Like, I was the guy who looked like the life of the party, all of that, but I was secretly super depressed. Only my girlfriend at that time really knew that I could get like that. And I was really close to suicide. And I was one of those people we see. And that's why I'm always trying to get this message out, try to go on podcasts, try to meet people who are trying to spread that. Yeah. You never know who's struggling. Like I put on such a mask and people would have been shocked. Yeah. But I was very close. So I would go out and think about, I wanted to make it look like an accident. Because first off, it's kind of cunning too. Because I also heard like, first off,
romantic. It is. It's like it is. It's like one of those, you're romanticizing your own demise.
Make it, and also, cunning too. Because
it is.
That's what made me stop it, which I'll get to that. But also, what made me stop doing that was asking myself, like, do you 100% know what happens when you die? No. So you got to take that off the table. But I think that's why I was trying to make it look like an accident too. Like, I could fool God, right? Like, maybe he'll give me grace at the end. I would go out, super drunk and just think about going off the side of the road.
Did you realize that you were also not in your right frame of mind in those moments? Because you were picking a time that you were super drunk, not a time that you were clear.
For sure, but I would get drunker and it was like the pain and then getting drunk. And,
you pushed yourself almost out of being able to think this through.
Right.
It's dangerous as shit.
It's super dangerous. And then I would go back and go to the club or something and act like nothing happened. Like that's how I was. And then I would just it was just
how long was this happening for?
Like a year.
Wow. Okay.
A year.
How long ago?
In my early 20s. So like 21. Yeah.
That's
20, 21.
I'm curious if that's like an extremely common thing.
Right.
You know?
Who knows?
You know what I mean? Like, I'm curious if it's that, because 21's young. When I was 21, I was still, everything was so, at the time for me, simple and easy. Like, I didn't think this deep. I was just a happy person, life of the party, playing ball, doing music. Everything was cool, smooth. I honestly thought I was untouchable. So I didn't think like that. And I had a lot of reasons to be depressed. I mean, a lot of anger issues, yeah. I mean, I just don't remember being 21 and thinking like that. I will tell you a really crazy story though, subconsciously. This is a wild story. There's a story that actually, one of the first moments that when I thought about it in retrospect, instantly, it was like whoa, you good. There was a night I'm in college, had a few of my buddies from home over there, and we took some pills and drank, and we were just getting banged up. But your typical night, like, you know what I mean? It wasn't really anything special. It was just whatever, and I blacked out. And so I wake up in the morning and my friends had drawn on my face and it was like a whole thing. I don't care, whatever. That didn't even bother me that much. It wasn't even about
Everybody
that.
used to do that back then.
Yeah, I mean, my eyebrows were drawn in. I think they might have drawn like a penis on my neck or something. You know what I mean? Like, it was what it was. So I had like 30 missed calls from my then girlfriend and a lot of text messages. And so I get on the phone and she's like frantic. Apparently, and I'm a notorious sleepwalker. At the time, especially, I'm a notorious sleepwalker. Was a notorious sleepwalker. So, like,
wow,
yeah, my parents had seen me walking through like the hallways at times, and completely, yeah. And I don't know if it was attributed to the I don't remember if it was only nights that I was drinking. I don't remember, but I was notorious sleepwalker. So she told me that apparently I was walking down. I told her I was walking down. She asked me where I was, and I said that I was over by the elevator. And the way I went to Montclair State. And the way that our dorm room was set up was like you had an elevator shaft in the middle and then you had dorms wrapped around. So like there was this balcony on each floor that would overlook where the cafeteria, right, and check-in was. And she told me that I told her that at the time I was looking over the edge and wondered what it would feel like if I fell.
Oh, wow.
Completely blacked out. So I don't remember this. I have no recollection of this at all. But she told me that that's what I told her. Wow. And so imagine
subconscious,
my subconscious. It's a crazy thought at a time that I did not think I had issues or whatever, but I did. Looking back, I did because I had a lot of demons, ton of demons. I wasn't being a good person every step of the way. I was lying to her. I was doing things I was extremely impressionable. So like I probably wasn't happy, but I didn't think I wasn't happy. It was a lot going on, but my subconscious. That was my thing. That was my thought.
We stuff it down, stuff it down,
Yeah.
stuff it down, stuff it down.
That was a real like, holy shit. Like imagine, I would never even have known.
Wow. And you hear those kind of things.
Yeah. I think
a famous music artist that happened. I don't know. He fell or whatever.
Well, I just think it's probably the guy, Liam, right? Liam. Yeah. I think it's, makes you think like, how often is that the case? How often is that the why?
And often, yeah, you're on drugs or drunk. But also, that goes back to there's also a subconscious. Sometimes we're subconsciously killing ourselves in that way. You don't even realize.
I agree.
You see someone who's 400 pounds or something, or you see someone who's going drinking every single night. They're drinking the pain away. That's what they're doing in a way, right?
Yeah, and but I would say the general public, especially how it's like marketed and promoted and stuff, we sympathize more than help. We try to say you're beautiful in your body, or it's just one drink, or right. And nobody's really tackling the issue at hand. You're it's fucked up actually, because now it gets me actually pissed off, because I do think that that especially when it comes to big time corporate or mainstream or whatever's promoted in general, which then ultimately like instills so much in so many people, so it travels. But like, I think that that's their way of, well, I care. I played my part. I tried making them feel better about themselves. It's the quick. Do you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was always hard for me to tell people, to be honest with people before I started doing this kind of work. I've now become
Why?
that person.
Why?
Because I was a people pleaser from my childhood without realizing, right?
Yep.
Like I would have never called out my friends. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't that guy, but now I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite interesting. But because it comes from love and not judgment,
So it's
I
not
did it to somebody 2 weeks ago, very strongly,
Mm-hmm.
very strongly, but it was from love.
Mm.
But I think it really helped them. They needed to hear it because everybody's, you know what? Everybody's doing that behind their back.
Yeah. Talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gained weight. He's going drinking all the
Yeah.
time. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
I'm like, help him out.
And
I don't
then
want to
you
hear
condone
about it.
it.
I
And
don't
then you
hear about it.
condone it. Yes.
I don't. Yeah. I'm not entertaining gossip. I don't do that.
Yeah.
So go tell him out of love.
Yeah.
To help him. Yeah.
And what's an interesting thing about that too is if that person, listen, maybe deep down they're upset about how heavy they might have gotten or their alcohol problem. Maybe, right, and probably,
Definitely.
very, very likely. I'm going to say because there's also some people that they just kind of go about. They don't care. Like some people just don't. Some people are okay being a little heavier and not really thinking about it. I've seen very, very confident people, but again, going back to when they look themselves in the mirror when they lay their head down at night. My guess is that they wish it weren't that way.
You're right though.
But there are some
perspective.
because there are some.
You're making me. Some people popped up for me.
Well, it's true. I have a lot of friends that like they value things very differently than I do. They look at life a little differently than I do. And even when we go deeper, I start having these kind of conversations with them. I can tell they shut off. They can't.
Yeah.
They don't. They prefer to not. And now maybe the interesting thing is like everybody gets one life. You feel me? And like there is no one way to do it. I'm not right. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm right. I'm not. It can't.
It's never coming from there.
It can't. And between your experience, your upbringing, your family, your desires, your goals, who you are, and all these different things, what you like, how you can function on this, that, and the third. Like I can't sit here and say this is the way you do it. I can give you my advice. I could share with you a perspective that
100%.
I think you could utilize to some degree.
Well, it's a very important point. Everything is case by case. Everything is case by case. And this particular case of the person that I said that, it was someone who was into fitness, was into all those things.
So they felt it.
And like it's someone that I knew that their struggle, totally looks completely different.
Sure.
Like and totally
themselves
into the
go a
personal
little bit,
development and all that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Which they were thankful. They called me the next day and said, "Thank you so much," like this.
That's it's good that they said thank you. Everybody needs the kick in the ass once in a blue moon. And as long as it's not a like you said, a judgmental approach or a defense, even worse, a defensive approach. Like somebody telling you about you or saying something about you in particular, and then you spin and you're like, well, bro,
And you go back on them.
that's never going to resonate ever. It's never going to click. You know what I mean? You can do it. Just don't expect that that's going to be the reason they change. You know what I mean? So let me ask you this, right? So you got into this work. Now, this work, what does it entail? You help companies, their staff, their employees with like introspective thinking, meditation. Explain this business and how you've gotten into this and where you're at now.
Sure. So how I got into it, when I was going through that tough time, then I was just looking for ways to get better. Went down a path of trying out meditation. Long story short, lived in Asia for some time studying meditation.
Nice. How was that?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I was mostly in South Korea, which was amazing. And I still go there. I've been there 4 times now. I was there this summer. And meditation that I could reflect on myself, see what I was holding and release is the one that resonated with me the most, because I realized that my problems were not coming from what I was going through at that time. They were actually coming from what I had accumulated for my entire life. So once I started to learn how to view my life as an observer and release, that's what personally helped me the most to actually change when I was done meditating. Of course, I still do breathing. I still do gratitude, mantra, affirmation. All of it is great. The one that helps me the most is the deeper work of seeing what I'm holding and releasing.
So what does that look like to you? Like when you go into those modes, how do you prepare yourself? How do you get into it? And how do you accomplish what it is you're looking to accomplish?
For my own meditation?
Yeah.
So if you think about it, let's think about, I'll just give you an example. You're saying like, how do you
like, because I've struggled with trying, like meditation for me. I mean, there's a million ways to meditate, right? Like there's different ways to approach it. I mean, sometimes when I run, I feel like I'm meditating, you know what I mean? So there's various different ways. It's not always, You know, I think some people think that it is, but I've struggled with turning my brain off. So like
it's not turning your brain off. It's a really common misconception.
Okay.
And I know we're talking deep stuff. I know you asked just to say, I know you asked about the company, so I'll get back to that because of course I'm not going into companies and like, hey, bring up your childhood trauma. Like, that's not what I do. Right. But I do let them know eventually where their issues are coming from.
Yeah.
But let's get back to how to practically meditate what I'm telling you about. So first we would do some breathing, just breathing deep is already going to help you throughout. Breathing all the way in and just let it out nicely.
Do you do this outside? Do you do it inside?
You can do it outside.
Do you prefer it? Do you prefer it inside or outside?
I mean, outside when I can, but it's not always most convenient, right? So as soon as I wake up, I sit right there. But how to reflect and release, let me first explain what I'm talking about releasing. Our body's exactly like a camera. So all the time, nonstop, it's recording. Even you don't want to, okay? Got a camera right there. If you look at the lens, what body part does it look like?
The eye.
The eye.
The retina.
That's
how
they
call it a retina, don't they?
I didn't even know that.
I'm pretty sure.
So thank you for telling me. Well, that makes sense. That's how they invented the camera in the first place. Is they tried to mimic the mechanism of the human taking a picture into the brain. But we don't do it only with our eyes, with all of our senses and all the feelings and emotions and thoughts. The catcher is whether you want to or not, it's always taking it in. We were talking about the subconscious. This what's getting in from the time you were born. Okay. How your parents are, the house you grew up in. This is like this. This is like that. You went to school. Oh, Blake, why are you wearing a shirt with a zipper? That sucks. Oh man.
You start questioning. I'm with you. I get it.
Just a silly example. Or like, I played sports too. I was the same size basically when I was 11. I was dominant. Right?
It didn't grow.
It didn't grow. So I thought for sure like, oh, I'm going D1, NFL, all that. Yeah. But anyway, so that was like, oh, take those pictures too, and that became an attachment also. So even the good ones, right?
Yeah.
And then whatever pictures we take throughout our life, and those times that I was really depressed and whatever, we take that and we hold it without realizing it. We're holding our whole life of stuff all the time, and then we're projecting it on top of the world. That's how our mind works.
That's a crazy way to look at it.
So instead of seeing instantly, that's scientifically how your brain works. It goes in and it's projecting.
So you're not seeing exactly as it is.
No.
You're seeing it with a preconceived vision.
Exactly.
Layered over top.
Exactly. Such is the goal of any meditation, is to come to the present moment, to come to the true world. So the only way to get there is actually to cleanse what I'm holding. Okay, truly get there. Of course, we can say, oh, be present, be in the moment. That might help a little bit, but when something happens, your reaction goes right back to what you're holding.
Yeah.
Main point is, the things from the past are just the past. Yes, it happened, of course. I know that's easier said than realized. It's just a copy of what once was.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's not here. If you think about the moment when you met me out here, right?
It's already gone.
But if you can bring up the picture. I got you. You can bring up the picture in your head.
No,
right?
I forgot. I'm just kidding.
That's funny. Short memory. You're a quarterback. You have the short memory. Bro.
Short memory.
So if you bring up that picture in your head, right, and you zoom out and try to see like you and me, that's not actually you and me. It's just a picture. I'm just making a point. Right? Like it's not actually here. You and me are here.
Yeah.
So the same thing goes for the things that are stressful also. It's just copies of what once was.
Yeah.
So let's imagine that there's a fire right here. Can you imagine? Just
of course.
Just like make it safe, or some people overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just like a video game.
I've already seen it.
Okay. You got a paper ball, piece of paper trash, and you throw that into the fire. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Throw it in.
Actually, it's all blue.
Very cool. Did it disappear though? The paper?
It's kind of burning.
Beautiful. It's super hot that it just took it away.
Yeah.
Okay. The picture in our mind is the same. All right. So you can learn how to reflect and how to release. Just to give you an example. All right. You can learn how to reflect and how to release. And really finding, it's about the questions you ask yourself to be able to find what you're holding on to. And when I work with people one-to-one, there's a specific thing usually they're working with, but the main thing is your whole life from birth up until now as an observer, finding and releasing. Memory life experience will actually get stronger. The excess gunk naturally gets taken away. So you're just relieving what you don't need to hold. So it's also easier for someone who, like me too, my mind, OCD, ADD, So all of that is more active. It's more like a game in the mind. And first off, you get better and better. But even just sitting with yourself is very, very helpful.
Yes, I find it to be very helpful. I'm going to use that practice though. The idea of meditation, I've never had it painted that way. I just never really looked at it like
I'm here to ungatekeep.
Well, this is huge. The timing of you even reaching back out to me and us having this conversation, like for me, this conversation, even right now, as it's going, it's one thing that we've talked about, coming on the podcast, and like I think we would connect. It's a whole other thing that I know for me where I'm at in my life at this very moment. The timing of somebody like you sitting across from me and having this conversation, I don't look at it like coincidence.
There's no coincidence.
No,
man.
I don't look at it like a coincidence. I look at it like the timing of this was meant to be the timing of this versus like I probably, I would have taken, like it would have been good for me then, but I'd rather it be now than then, because then would have been like I would have been a little bit further back to sort of hear this. I wouldn't have been as prepared and ready to actually take some of what it is that you're saying and implement it or put it where I need to put it. So I think the timing of this is good.
I love that, man.
Yeah, I do.
Love that.
And I pay attention to stuff like that a lot. Like timing of everything.
Me too. It's really interesting.
I'm a big believer. What are your thoughts on the mind? Because I've been doing a lot of this lately. Listening to a lot of Napoleon Hill lately. You a fan?
Yeah, I do like him. So
a lot of YouTube stuff, a lot of half hour, 45 minute, like, in the morning. One of the things that I've wanted to do, because I haven't been great at it, is like when I wake up, don't go right to the phone, fill your mind with something positive. Like you said, meditate might be even something that I would consider doing more of, where it's getting your own little head for a minute, Oftentimes I got my son laying right next to me, but I did, what's funny? Awesome. I did bring a journal into his room and I said, we're going to write a goal in the morning. I'm going to write mine, you write yours.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's almost 4.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, he'll write chicken scratch and I'll let him write, but and then I'll fill it in what so like,
what does he say?
So we started it 2 days ago. And so we've had one day of it. This morning,
what was his goal?
His goal was to love mommy and daddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah. That's what he said without thinking.
It's like an angel, man.
Yeah, dude, when I look.
To say something like that,
Well, when I don't know how everybody else's kids are, I'm not with everybody else's kids. So I can only pay attention to my own, but, yeah, I mean, I have there's something about kids. There's something about, like, I'll say my kids and what I get from my kids that is profound. And it's kind of like, it, everybody knows it, where like when you're a kid, you're so free in your mind, right? You're not consumed by all the craziness of the world. And similar to what you're talking about, like that veil that is over the world, and you're like, what they see is what they see. How they do it
100%.
It's so in the moment and so freeing. It's like, I don't want to say envy it, but like it's a reminder.
Well, you have that. That's what I see from you. And that's actually all spirituality mentions about children, mentions about, whether I talked about the different major books.
Yeah.
They mention about being childlike. Because you're
dude.
Open.
Yeah.
You're forgiving.
You're
in the moment. You're
used
pure.
to fight that I'm a child at heart. I know it. Like I'm a kid, dude.
Why do you fight that?
Because of what I thought, or what I have thought, not so much anymore, because I think I've put it into a good perspective and how to channel it the right way and use it the right way.
It's childlike.
It's childlike.
Right? It doesn't
versus
mean you don't have
childish.
the wisdom
Yeah.
of an adult.
No.
But what we were talking about
My
with how you
heart.
dabble into so many different things and how you're open and creative.
It's my flow. I have learned that sometimes my wife doesn't even get it. People that I know that are close to me, they don't get it. Like, I know I want to continuously be in as many of my flow states as possible, because in my flow states, I feel unbeknown. I don't even realize it in a moment, but I'm safe. And the reason I say I'm safe is because I'm not overthinking. I am so in the moment. It could be around various different people and various different experiences. It doesn't have to be one way. I know when I'm consumed in positivity, it could be sports, it could be athletics, it could be working out, it could be this, it could be drawing, it could be writing music, it could be performing on a stage, it could be talking to people on a stage, it could be going for my runs. These are the places that time goes without me thinking too deep. And I fucking love it.
That is amazing.
My flow state. I used to think that every time I lost my flow state, I used to get so discouraged. So like when I stopped doing music, I was lost, because my flow state, it had originated in sports. That was my entire life growing up. When I was playing, and I was always doing something athletically, so like that was my flow state. And I guess you're around your friends, that's a flow state. College was similarly the same thing. I start doing music. Music was like the one thing I had left before I was gonna fuck up, like potentially. And I just went all the way with it, and it became my flow state. And then when I stopped doing music and I had to like dive into what it is to be a husband and go corporate to make a living, none of that felt right. None of it. Even being a husband, like none of it. I loved it, but the contingencies and the strings that were attached to it didn't gel with my makeup.
100, but it's all part. You see now, I'm sure it's all part of your journey.
It's very
much you. We're all on a journey and we're following it.
Correct.
Where you think it's going wrong way, but it's actually refining that.
It was just
that
the
one
moment.
side of you that you need to refine. You don't know what the end
It wasn't even
goal of your main purpose, that you're on trajectory for that.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And you had a choice too. You could have just.
I had a choice.
You could have said, "Hey, I'm going music." People do that, right?
100%.
Even have a kid and do that.
You know what's crazy is that the universe had a deal on the table. It fell through at the time that I was about to be married, and I made a very conscious decision. I was smart enough to know that if I was going to stay in this relationship and be as good of a husband as I could be, or at least move in a direction of what I thought a husband's supposed to be. Let's put it. It's probably a better way to put it. There was no way that I was going to be able to travel and do music and wing it. If music, which was part of the deal, if the music paid for my everything, I would have been able to make sense of that to my wife, who has nothing to do with the music industry. It was just being a provider. You follow what I'm saying? So because it fell through, to chase it would have been starting over in so many ways. I didn't have the stability in music. So it would have been a rash decision and something that would have been untrue to the kind of husband that I really wanted to be deep down. And so I made a conscious decision. The conscious decision was, we're taking a break from music. And what I thought would be months turned out to be like 8 years.
8 years.
It's been 8 years since I've played around and dabbled, but like being an artist, no, I have not. It's been 8 years.
The songs that you play that I've heard, they're from that long ago, or they're from?
Except for Set Me Free. There's a few. Set Me Free I dropped recently. It felt good. I wanted to, have fun with it. There's a few others that I've dropped over the 8 years, but like, I guess just to do it. It wasn't even so much chasing anything. Like deep down, I love being an artist but then I've realized that I am an artist.
Yes.
So it's not about doing it like how I did it.
You always have that.
Correct.
And you never know, man. You really never know.
You don't.
I think what I see, or what I hope, because you were talking about, which is something that's actually like what drives me.
Yeah.
In the morning, you were talking about how basically you were talking about the media and all this, like coddling people.
Yeah.
But you were saying, but I saw you getting in, for me, we know, let's say the people at power don't want the best at hand for the people of the world.
Correct. Well, there's none of this in The Cure.
Yes. And it's so funny because someone just called me too, someone who I do coaching with, and they were asking me about, should I stop listening to rap music that I'm doing this work? And it's something actually commonly people ask me, and I never tell anybody, don't do this, don't do that. Well, if you examine the lyrics of what you're taking in,
Dude.
So I'm saying, I had one client who was a rapper also, and I was like, and he was trying to get on this wave, and like Christian music is really big right now, but still, like, I love J. Cole, Love Yours, or for example, but this kind of positive but cool truth, actual real stuff, I feel like the market is hungry for it too.
What's wild is over the last 6-7 years, I feel like that's a lot of the music that I've made. And every time I've made something that goes back to, what you would expect of a 20-something-year-old crazy, I'm in the clubs, that's what the shit I was making.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right. Like I've had records that I'm like, oh, this is a banger. This feels good. It doesn't feel right. Like there's certain songs, I'll tell you what has been my kicker, the thing that kind of like tells me in the moment that, all right, I got something. And it's not about somebody else's opinion. And every time I get somebody else's opinion, it actually deters me from doing what it is that I want to do, which sucks, but I'm being honest about it. You know, it's more of the reason why, stop asking for people's fucking opinion of your music. Put your shit out and let people perceive it however go that route.
Yeah.
Right? But when I cry or when it gets me, when it hits me, when I write something and record something and I feel something, that. And I've had moments where and there's records I have that I'm like, wow, that came from a place. Doesn't matter the sonic of it. It's the words, the feel, everything about it feels good. And that's the only kind of music I want to drop at this point. If I were to ever drop music, like really consistently.
I love that. I can't wait to hear it.
Going back to rap, I appreciate you saying that because I do love a good rap song. There's so much music that I listen to when I work out, for instance, that it's really just for the bounce. I'm not even listening to the lyrics per se.
Well, that's what I told, not to cut you off, but that's what I told him. First off, being aware will help.
Yeah. It's true because there's certain things where I hear the beat come in and I'm just like this, right? But yeah, I mean, I will say that, I'll tell you where I'm because I'm doing this, I did it 30 days and now I'm pushing it to 2 months and I'm kind of back in this space, right? Which we definitely gel on right now. I had recently watched the show Monster, the Ed Gein story. Do you know about it?
I don't know. He's a serial killer?
So he's like one of the first. And I'm into all that shit. Like, don't get me wrong. I've always been into that stuff, right? But dude, I'm watching it and it really, really, really like it disturbed my frequencies. I felt it. Like I genuinely felt it. I've told people like, don't watch the show. Not worth it.
Especially now you have kids.
It's dark. It's deep. I understand it's the truth of this story that this person went through, but for what it was worth for me to consume it, bro. And I've been good with most of that stuff. For whatever reason, it hit, and I'm like, it was uncomfortable to watch. Nothing about it felt right.
That's good. You're getting in tune with what you feel.
Yeah. Nothing about it. It wasn't about entertainment this time. It was like, and I watched the whole thing. You know, it's not like I cut it off and stopped. I was so curious about how it ended and all these different things. And strangely enough, it's like his perspective as he got older became almost like, you know, it was there's a depth of messaging that I gathered from it that I could pluck out some positivity, but it was heavy, bro. I didn't like it. So I get it. I do think that what you consume is very important. A lot of people are just consuming things to consume it. And they think it's normal. Back
to what I was saying about the camera, right? You're always taking it in. You don't even realize.
You don't. It's so important to surround yourself around. Yeah, it's so tough as it is. How do you do this for like the kids? Do you work with kids?
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
What is your message to kids? They are the culture, right? And you've got TikTok and you've got all these different things that, I'm not going to sit here and say it's all negative. I don't believe.
Can't.
No,
you can't.
I think the consumption, the extensive consumption of it,
of course,
removes you from you.
Of course,
right? But like, I don't think it's all negative.
I think telling kids what to do. Nobody likes to be told what to do. Even when you're a kid.
Yeah. Especially kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a parent.
Yeah. Especially kids. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think still working on the core things. Kids need to have confidence and they need to be loved. That's the main thing I would say.
Do you think that confidence comes from love though? Do you think that it comes like the initial, do you think there's a head start on confidence if they're loved?
Sure. But being very mindful of how you speak to your kids is really, really important.
Yeah,
they really take it in.
Yeah, they got to feel it.
Like if you say, you don't know, you see people say you're stupid or you're this or you're that just because and it's not to blame the parent either. They're shut up, you're annoying or this. Then they take it in. Yeah. Oh, I am annoying. I am this or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I think you gotta be, I think that I remember when we had my son, she's very practical and very structured, which is so good for me. Cause
that's good balance.
Oh, it's a great balance, dude. It's a great balance. Yeah, I've learned it over time, especially. But she would say to me, like, we need a bigger this or bigger that because we want more room. And it's honest. She's not. I get it. Totally understand where she's coming from. But my response was, for one, that's going to take a little. We're going to need to put money away. We're going to need to figure this out. It's not just like, oh, we got to go to a bigger place. It's not that simple, right? And I would tell them, like, our kid. If we lived in a box, just a box. If our kids are happy and feel love, then none of it matters.
That is the most important thing. That is the most important thing. You don't know how many people I've seen and people I know. You know this too. If you have a mansion in Tenafly, but inside the house, I hate you, Mom. They're slamming the doors and this and that. What is the point, right? It's not saying not to have that, but actually,
what is it for?
What did we get brainwashed to value?
What is it really for?
What do we get brainwashed to value too?
What is it truthfully for? That is we all like the finer things.
It's okay if you have both too. Like, I'm not against
100%.
If you have that and you have enough means to have that, that's awesome.
Listen,
I'm not saying every rich family is like that. Not at all. That's not what I'm saying.
No, and there's I know a lot of wealthy families too that instill the right values into their kids. Yeah. Like, it's not one way or the other. Like, have money or not. No, but I do agree with you that when your mission and your purpose is, let's say, financial gain, can be, and I think everybody should, to some degree, if you're choosing to live in the structure of this society, this is the way society is structured right now, go make your money. Do it with your heart. Do it with with intent. If you have to sacrifice a little bit to go do it because you have goals, like whatever it might be, go get your money because it does matter in the structure of society.
Right.
But how can there be? I read this thing the other day. It was like, so there is like you mentioned, like suicide. It's the rate, especially at a young age, like it is high. It's higher than it ever has been. I think we kind of all have an understanding as to why there's so much to consume, and people are confused, and kids especially. And but how can a third world country who has nothing, how can their suicide rate be so low, like almost non-existent? They have none of the things that we quote unquote in America value. Right? So explain that. And if
it's very, very interesting because the human mind is never satisfied no matter what. That goes back to the beginning. We talked about gratitude and perspective a little bit. That might have been even before we were on, but that is everything. We have everything we need, brother. It's never ending. We have to realize that. Yeah. Literally, our ancestors would be shocked. Like, you can go to the thing and you can,
oh my God,
and the water comes out. Just that.
Yeah.
How about I can get a red sweatshirt tomorrow? Sometimes Amazon takes in the same day. A king couldn't do that, brother. I could get a cheeseburger right now delivered to me. Correct. And I don't have to work that hard to enable to earn that. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
We have everything. The comfort level is king of kings, king of kings. The
greatest time ever.
And yet suicide, anxiety, addiction is also the highest it's ever been. Yes. So what's going on here? So that's why I'm so pumped up that I really believe that we are about to, there's
a shift happening.
Where's a shift happening? Because we're figuring out the ego had a great run, the false self, whatever you want to call it, this type, but the jig is up, brother. The
jig is absolutely up. I think the transition is going to be interesting to watch because there's so many levels. There's so many levels and there's so many levels internally. There's so much that is going to go on over the next chunk of time. And it's going to be bad moments. It's going to shape us. There's going to be good moments that's going to shape us. But I do believe there's a spiritual shift that is being felt.
100%.
Sure. And regardless of the Charlie Kirk thing, for instance, like when it happened for me, I don't know if you want to get into this or not, but I don't want to talk too deep.
I can answer about it. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. I found it to be interesting, and I don't want to get in, there's so many theories and all this other stuff. We're going to push all that to the side, and we're just going to go off of what it did to the public, right? Okay.
It's an extremely sad situation that I really, was really upset about it.
I was very upset about it. It hit me like a ton of bricks. I had followed him for quite a long time. Didn't always agree with everything he said, but what I did agree with is that it felt like it was always coming from an honest place, and it always was with intent to create dialogue. And I think dialogue is so unbelievably important. But I think that the moment when it happened, people came out of their spirit came out of the woodworks. So it was either this is my moment to make change, because if that can happen to somebody like that, then I need to make a change. And I know I'm feeling this. I've been feeling this for a while. You could see all these people, like, that's why you're seeing more people go to, church, and more people turn to Jesus, and more people trying to find genuine faith. And then there was the other side that was so deep into it. That's like praising death and this, and it was chaotic and crazy. And again, I would love to have conversations to understand your why before I pass any type of judgment. But what I would say is that to me, that's just like there was good at hand and there was evil at hand.
Yeah.
And
that's this world. This world is actually in a fight of good and evil.
Yep.
100% good will win at the end of the day. That's what I'm so confident in, so certain. Like they talk about certainty.
Yep.
When I talked about that existence, like the gold, what I talked about.
Yeah.
Whether you call that, it doesn't matter a name. Actually, you mentioned Jesus. Jesus used the word Allah, right? People don't even know he didn't speak English, right? The name doesn't matter. It's about that existence. It's not a guy in the sky with a beard. This real existence, this light and energy that is here, will win in the end of the day. And I just believe that confidently. But what we have to do. That guy, Jiddu Krishnamurti, also has a quote of a change in one is a change in millions. Because you feel powerless. You feel powerless when you just look at the world and you look at the people around you, but you have the power to change yourself. And you can never discount, and I know you're on this wave with this podcast, you can never discount the change you can make. Just genuinely. I used to go to the grocery store and I used to be impatient and I used to be sometimes, what's this guy doing? Why are they ringing me up?
Yeah.
Now when I go, anywhere I go, I'm trying to bring happiness. I'm trying to bring joy. I'm trying to spread love. You don't know the ripple effect. That person can go home and yell at their kid and you don't know, like a change in one is a change in millions. So I just want to give you hope because you can get like, who killed him? It's the, the Illuminati and whatever. And this, that, and this side and that side. First off, never put me in a box. I'm not on either. I love people of both sides. I'm bringing love.
Thank you. I'm just happy to see like people, my worst enemy, if I saw something like that, it wouldn't feel right. So when I'm seeing the uproar of like, people are just, to me, people are gone. They're lost. They're in a space that I'm like, whoa. And to know it and to feel it was actually good for me because it put things into perspective. It's like, okay, there are some people out here that are so far removed from self, that are so engulfed in the who, what, when, left, right, religion, this, that, but, and their identity, not their identity is attached to it. That is crazy to me. It's one thing to believe, like, bro, this isn't liking the Mets or Yankees. You know what I mean? Like
that's what they make it. That's what they make everything. They make everything WWE.
Crazy, dude. It's crazy, but it goes to show how unbelievably impressionable people are, and how unbelievably aware the powers that be, and anybody who has, like us knowing this is powerful because I could go and manipulate all day if I really wanted to. Knowing that.
But since you have that good conscience.
Correct.
We went back to, you can actually, because
I can.
You couldn't sleep with yourself at night.
I can, but there will be
a consequence because you have a conscience.
Correct. That is the thing, because if it was about money, if it was about me going and manipulating the game, I would have done it already. Because then
that's not the game, right?
It's not my game.
Yeah, back to you're saying
it's not my game.
Saying people can do whatever, but down to say who's right, who's wrong. But I believe in
my soul, my core.
I believe in that existence of God, whether you call it God, Buddha, what I just said, the universe. I believe in God so much, so certain. If you give me chips, I'm going all in. I wasn't like that before, but just that's where I am, and.
It feels
good is stronger than evil, brother.
Good is definitely stronger than evil.
And it will win, but we have to let's at least have the courage to, if you listen this long, anyone on here too, have the courage to ask yourself, just how can I be a better person for the people around me? And even for yourself. When you're better for yourself, then you're better for everyone around you. Just what am I doing? What's one habit I could change or improve? Just start with that, right? And when we stop living so self-centeredly and bit by bit start to change, and I'm still asking myself those questions every day. It's not about being perfect, right?
There is no perfect.
Right.
There is no perfect. And you're
That's
always
a beautiful
capable.
thing to say.
There is no perfect. And you're always capable of becoming more. And what's scary is becoming more for better or for worse. And the choice is yours. When push comes to shove, it is up to you to decide. And I'll go back to, I do believe most people know it deep down. I really do.
They do.
I do. I think that it's easy and it's convenient to attach yourselves to things outside of self because the society has rewarded that.
100%. It's within everyone. Back to, I read the different religious scriptures. Every single one says that God is within you. Jesus said God is within you. Not a guy with the sky in the sky with a beard is within you. Okay.
Yeah.
That existence of God is within you. Buddha said that true Buddha universe paradise is within you. And in Islam, it says Allah is within you. Paradise is in your mind. In Hinduism, it says that the universe is within you. Meaning that existence of goodness, of truth, of the light and energy, soul and spirit, whatever you want to call it, is within us. It's just covered up, right, by all the things that we're holding that are blocking it. So anyway, that's what I'm saying, that we can have that.
We can. And you keep doing your part. You keep doing exactly what it is you're doing. I plan on doing the same.
You're on the same wave.
We are, man. And I think this is an important time for people to kind of, you know, if two people take this podcast and are like, dude, I needed to hear that. Job well done.
Of course.
Job well done. You know, and like most things, when you do something for long enough, people become believers. You know, they start seeing the growth. They start seeing the positivity. They start seeing the gains or whatever. I want it to be positive. At this point in my life, and really my kids are my motivation. My kids are the reason that I'm feeling that way more than anything. You know, before my son, I literally lost purpose. Like I did not know what I wanted to do in life. And then it became like one of those things like, holy shit, I have been through a lot to understand a lot. And now I have this amazing blank slate of a human being, of flesh, bones, heart, mind, that I can help coach and train to just be better than me, and more importantly, the best them that they could possibly be.
They're a precious gift to you, man.
They are
a precious gift to you.
Dude, it's like an absolute game changer, and probably something that saved my mind.
That is amazing.
Saved my mind. Yeah, because my mind.
They are an absolute gift and blessing.
Dude. Gift. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, and I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna cool this down, and then we'll come back and we'll
finish
up. Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, back from a bathroom break. I do want to get into. We kind of touched on it, and then we veered. What you do, like for your work. So you know, what's the company? Who do you service?
Sure.
Break it all down.
So since we're in Jersey too, so I'll let them know I'm a part of 2 centers in New Jersey, in Teaneck and in Lyndhurst. Meditation centers that are open every day from morning till night that offer one-to-one and group sessions.
Okay.
OnlineMeditationEvents.com is a company that I co-founded in 2020, that there's free live Zoom classes. There's also a membership program virtually where you get helped one-to-one coaching and 60 live guided classes a week there. And also we help companies and teams do events, workshops on meditation. So I'm a part of Inglewood Health.
Oh, nice.
I do their sessions at the Live Well Center.
Very cool.
So that session is actually open to the public too. One session that they sponsor is on Mondays. So anybody who
if I were to pop up, I'm good.
Of Inglewood, can you come? Please.
Yeah, I would come.
Yeah,
I would definitely come.
You would love it.
I would love to.
It's Mondays at 5:30. Whenever.
Say less. I'm in. I'm in. If not this Monday, the following for sure.
Awesome.
I think I have something Monday, but I will definitely come. Yeah.
And then for companies, I match to their goals when I go to them. Everyone has right. Yeah. Everyone has something different that they want. Some people want to build a better team. Some people they just want to help everybody relax. Some people, really popular one is to become more efficient. So we'll work on that.
Yeah, that makes sense for a corporate. Yeah. Please be more efficient, everybody. We need you to do your job better.
That's what they want. That's why all the top companies do it, right?
Well, most employees are successful or better when their work environment or spirit is up.
100%. 100%. Yeah. So yeah, I've been lucky to do for Square, NYU. I had a contract with Walgreens in 2024 too. And I did something for Deloitte. So some big companies, but also any small companies. Actually, Alpha Fit Club is often. Do you know them at all?
I don't know them personally, but I've heard a lot of really good things about them. They've popped up, obviously, being in Westwood.
Tim, who I mentioned, he's also part of that ownership group. Yeah.
Tim. Oh, got you. Yes. That's good, man. I would love to get involved with some of the things you do and like see you at work and how you go about it. We'll talk off camera too. I have some ideas as to how do I want to incorporate some community philanthropic work within Westwood for sure, but the community. So we'll talk off camera and see how we can kind of gel and make that make sense.
For sure. Awesome. That's actually something that I'm getting into now too, because Inglewood does that. I like doing the community sessions. They sponsor one of the community sessions.
Nice.
I like doing that more than anything.
Yeah.
Just genuinely helping people, because you never know who's struggling with mental health. And even if the people who really need it don't come, but they are making a positive ripple effect from that workshop.
Agreed.
So we had a plan to start going to different towns around and trying to set up sessions and get sponsors. Things like this.
I would love to get involved with stuff like that. And
to help this mental health crisis.
Yeah, in general, man, I think that there's a lot of ways to do it. I think one of the cool things that I've kind of like all the things that I've done between music and sports and what is quote unquote cool, but what I really now believe is like the coolest thing about life, right? How to combine it, right? So how do you make music and entertainment fun the way that it is, but push it towards a positive?
Of course you can.
I know you can. I don't always want to do it individually. I think I do it in my own way, and however I do it, I know how to entertain, but I also know how to give another perspective. Like I do it my way. I'm who I am. Like when push comes to shove. So like I wouldn't force that.
Who else can you be?
Exactly. Like, you know what I mean? So I just do it the way I can do it, but I do see a bigger picture. I do see people coming together. I do want to be at the forefront, or at least try to be that person that leads a coalition of people, you know? So if we can do that in some capacity, I think it would be extremely impactful. And I believe that a lot of these schools, middle schools, high schools even, are yearning for it, where it's not parent, teacher, principal, blah, 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 because those are their authoritative figures that they're so accustomed to it being. But I used to do these anti-bullying tours, for instance. And
wow, you did?
Oh, I did, yeah, for years when I was an artist.
Wow.
And it was extremely impactful. We used to go down to Essex County and like Hudson County. So it was outside of Bergen County. And I was, really the only white person there. So it was a very interesting, for me, it was very interesting or one of the few, but it was very interesting to be in the mix, like in an urban community, and try to relate. Because when I would step on stage, like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean? I don't want to listen to that shit. We don't have the same experiences. But I was very much so able to crack through, and it was extremely impactful. I watched a lot of amazing things happen in that process. I found more purpose in that process. I found doing it to be positive, not just for the kids, but like for my spirit. So I'd like to kind of figure out how to bring that back around.
That's amazing. Why did you stop doing it?
Well, it was music related. I wasn't at the forefront of the tour. It wasn't like I put together the tour. I was asked as an artist to come on and speak and be a part of the show, be a part of the assembly.
Gotcha.
And ultimately wound up, like finding, I think we did for like 2 years, 3 years, and it was on and off, but we I would say about 20 shows, 25, maybe 15, 20 shows. And we would go pretty much middle school to middle school, like elementary school to elementary school. And sometimes for 100 kids, sometimes for upward of 800 kids.
Wow. So you play music and then you talk about.
So you would talk and then you'd perform. So what was interesting is I wasn't bullied as a kid. So I wasn't going up there being like, here's my story of being bullied and how I triumphed through it. That was not my approach. My approach was I had to figure out a way to make it make sense. And so I would be more focused on, who you are as an individual, what you're capable of. You're letting the person to the left and the right of you change who you are, because
you were doing motivational speaking.
More motivational speaking, more like, inspiring the individual. Yeah.
Well, that's ultimately going to help the whole problem.
It did. And then to round it all up, we would perform at the end, and the performance was, that's why I'm saying bridging the gap in so many ways, like being able to figure out how to do the cool stuff that kids think is cool, and bringing it into a space that is really good. So when we were performing, that gave us the validation of cool. So now you had somebody who was doing something like myself, who was doing something that you would want to do, a kid who's inspired, music, and we would light up the place. We'd stand on chairs and we would get lit like this, but the message was the message. So now that message resonated more because they watched somebody be what they kind of want to be.
I love that.
So that
Brother,
was the
I actually
approach.
got chills when you were talking about that.
It was impactful. It was really cool, and I definitely want to do it again. It would be a little. I would do it a little different, but it would be conceptually the same thing in a sense that how can you take a little bit of entertainment to get them energized in the midst of their school day, and fold it into the overall message.
I love
to
that.
me, that's what will actually resonate to them.
I love you could get creative on coming up with ways of that. But
Get
I
very
think
creative.
a mission is we have to change what's cool, like what we talked about. That's why I got chills actually about it, because I always think about that, like a bigger picture, like I have a lot of aspirations and goals, of course. I can't change what's cool, but I try to get ideas of how, because like you said, how they control us through media, through movies, through music, whatever, that needs to change to a good message, like where it's being a savage is not cool, cheating on girls is not cool.
Correct.
Doing drugs is not cool.
Correct.
Screwing over your friend is not cool.
Correct.
Screwing someone's girl is not cool.
Correct.
Actually, right?
Correct.
Like what's actually cool. Like that's why, Rocky, like that's why that resonated so much.
Yes.
like that. Yeah. I'm from Philadelphia originally. So
are you from Philly?
It's like a religion there.
Yeah,
but if you really break down like that movie, it's, he's that, right?
He is that.
And changes what's cool.
I just think, I don't find it to be, I think it's almost like those that are super duper positive for it. Like, how do you take the fashion, the music, the sonics of music, the storytelling, the things that are cool? Like, I don't see a lot of me's, for instance. I'm gonna use me as an example. I don't see a lot of me's going out and really instilling a positive direction. I'm talking about like hip, fashionable, hat back, kind of cool swag. Because to me, in the strangest way, those are the things that tap into a kid's subconscious. You know.
But I think we do see it a little bit. We do see it with some people for sure. But it's just not all the way somehow. And because there's still that control, like even Tupac would come out with like really beautiful songs, but then he would also come out with the other songs about killing people. Whoever, right?
Yeah.
J. Cole, who I just mentioned before.
He does a good job.
So, yeah, he does.
He does a very good job.
And I think there is people coming up, and there's that kind of wave because people are yearning for it. Like we said, we have that truth within. So we know like what's actually cool is like being a genuine person, being loyal, working hard, treating people well, whichever.
Yeah, I think it's a time to like almost break it up a little bit and go for it.
So like that's what's cool.
It is what's cool. I think people know that it's what's cool. I think it's the coolest thing about everything. You ever have those moments like me and my sister, we go over, we send each other back and forth like American Idol moments that like are whoa, or like The Voice, or like when you hear it and they don't even know how, like they know they're talented, but they don't actually know until they hear the response from the people, from the judges or whatever. And it's a tearjerker, right? Like we've cried, me and my sister, over stuff like this. And it's nothing more than it being rooted in genuinity. And it being so real. It's like this random person from Wisconsin or Iowa has this voice and they didn't even know.
I love those. And that's why
it's the best.
That those clips go crazy on social. And I love them too. I watch them over and over. I know what you're talking about.
They're
now, I didn't know at first, but then I was like, oh yeah.
Why do we forget those moments? We feel that and it's almost like we're like, embarrassed to talk about it to people. Why? You know what I'm saying, though?
You're not embarrassed to talk about it.
I'm not.
I'm not either.
No, but I think more, again, I just think a lot of people are closeted, emotional beings, truthful, emotional, empathetic, honest beings, and then they walk out of their house and it's, the rat race.
It's rooted in fear. And I was really like that. I was very closed off. I didn't smile in pictures, tried to always act like a tough guy, like this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it took a lot of time to change too. And it was painful also. I think it's painful to change. Like first, like I learned like, hey, like I like to smile. I like to, I was told not to smile,
to be tough.
And all those things. Don't tell people I'm not going to tell everybody every personal information, but to be closed, basically I was taught like that way. Right. But I had to undo that. undo what it means to be a man, or
it's crazy. A lot of people that have another perception of being a man are gonna judge that.
And I don't care.
No, I don't care either. I think it's crazy.
I think, but as you get into it, really, that is strength. And the strongest men I know are like that.
Yes.
Actually. Right. And the other one is actually insecurity. Right.
Correct. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. I 100% agree. And I think it's important to make it very clear.
And I understand it too. It comes from being hurt.
It does. You mask it in a million ways. You mask it with muscles. You mask it with this. You mask it with however the hell you need to mask it. A chain, a car, a house, a this, a that, and things that, your crowd.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's a funny little world we live in.
To say the least.
It's a funny little world we live in. And realistically, this is also a funny little world that we live in.
Goes back to that's the only world we have to care about.
It really is.
Really, and no comparing you versus you. Yeah. You can never be happy when you compare it to anyone. Always you versus you.
Always.
Just locked in on you versus you, becoming the best person you can be.
Yep.
You don't know. I don't know what it's like to be someone else and be born with their inherited stuff and and the things they went through in their life. Like, I have no idea.
I know. And then we try to emulate some other people at the same time. It's crazy. It's a crazy concept. You don't. You can't. You're not that person. And yet they inspire you in like ways that why? If you really think about it, like why? It's okay to be.
It's good actually to be inspired.
It is good to be inspired, but don't let it
take away from being you.
Correct. Don't let it become your identity. There's only one you.
I was inspired by many people.
Oh yeah.
Of course, you were too.
For better or for worse.
You got all this here.
I do. Music for sure. I mean, all of it. I stepping out of Westwood and getting into different cultures and, experiences and getting to the gutter of the world. Like, I mean, I've seen the gutter of the world. I know it. I know the depth of it. And I know the highs of it. I know the very wildly successful people, and to see it all, to be around it all, like, they're all human. They're all, none. I know people that have nothing, that are wild, that have everything. And I know people that have everything that have nothing.
Yes, that's what it is.
It's a crazy thing if you really think about it, but it's real.
We're so stuck in the material.
But
there's non-material here also. The thing you can't see is the most powerful.
It's the most powerful. You can't make other people happy without being happy yourself. I really do believe that.
100%.
Yeah, I really do believe that. Not you could try. You could have moments, but it's gonna run its course.
That's the best way to make them happy, is you being happy first. You can't make them happy, but
people feel it. Yeah. People feel it. People feel an energy. They do. And it's crazy. Even when you on your worst days, if you're going around, you ever gone to a meeting when you're just off, right? Sure. And it didn't go well. No matter what, like you just feel that, but it's not because of that person, but you walked in with bad energy, and you're probably the root cause of why this didn't work out or why this isn't feeling right. They're just responding to your energy.
Exactly. It's so funny how we discount energy.
Discount it.
We know that if I pull out my phone, I could play any music in the world. Like, where is it coming from?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When I'm on the phone, like, where is it? We just say, oh, yeah, get in the car. And it goes.
Yeah.
Like, we don't even think about it.
We don't think about it.
And we just accept that dogs can sense fear and stuff. What, humans, we cannot? Like,
I know.
Of course we can.
Of course we can.
Energy is real.
And we're smarter than all of them in so many ways. Imagine we were able to tap into our potential, like really tap into our potential. And I think it's possible. I think it's more possible than we believe. And more that we're told. They say we only use whatever it is, like 10, 20% of our brain. I think you can certainly tap into the other.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
That's what I work on, man.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And you work out physically hard. It's the same.
Yeah, it's all
working out spiritually and mentally. It's literally the same.
All one hand wash the other.
It's literally the same thing, and it's the same thing where it doesn't happen overnight. But if you really tried it hard for 60 days in a row, you're gonna see
discipline.
Discipline.
That is my word for life moving forward. I've been undisciplined. I've been successful being undisciplined.
Wow. So imagine yourself disciplined.
I constantly tell myself that.
Have
you
grace
imagine?
with yourself, though. You know how
Correct.
hard it is for someone who's creative like you
Correct.
to be disciplined?
It took years and years of ups and downs and questioning myself and people's opinions that I took at face value. And I mean, like I really went through it, like up and down. And, you know, nobody would know that I went through it, I don't think. You know, I mean, I maybe had moments where it's come out, but like typically no. I'm usually looked at as like a rock solid, people go to me for advice kind of a guy, but like deep down, I'm fucking hurting, you know?
Sure.
I feel like I'm in a good place now. And the whole thing for me is keep going. Like, don't let money be your focus. Like if money's money, like
it will come naturally,
dude.
and you don't want to get more. Actually, like you don't want to get more than what you're supposed to have. Like at that time,
it won't give it to you. The universe, God,
when you're in tune, that's how it works. You know, so you just have to play that game. Like you don't know. Like if I all of a sudden had like $500 million, I'm just saying like maybe I'm on a jet right now and I die. I'm just saying like I think about that kind of stuff.
For sure.
I don't. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I believe that wealth. You know, I think there's a plan for everybody, right? And how hard some people, God is going to make you be a little bit more patient and a little bit and hold on a little bit longer because you're somebody who has a different potential. And I believe that of myself. And I believe it's the why I haven't gotten to, and again, money's not what motivates me, but it's become something that I do desire for my family, for security, for those reasons, right? And thankfully I've been able to make enough of it where but it's not enough for how I want to take care of things, right? And comforts. I don't want to think about it. I want enough money to think about it.
Just be happy and work hard.
And the more and more I go in a positive space, the more and more I feel like you are keep going. I feel it. Keep going. You are gearing up for the time that you will be given your due. I feel it. And I feel like I've slipped every single time I've been this close.
Just keep following it.
Yep.
Keep following it. Don't put too much pressure on yourself as you do.
Not pressure.
Not pressure?
No.
Good. Then you're good.
I don't feel pressure.
You're good.
I don't feel pressure.
You're good.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel positive. I feel all of the ups and downs are the reason that I'm feeling exactly what it is that I'm feeling today.
You're guided, brother.
Yeah,
and you know that.
I feel it. I genuinely feel it. And I'm going to continue to learn. I'm going to continue to stay here. Continue to go in a positive space. I'm going to continue to talk to you. I need to surround myself around more of this. I do, but more of it.
For sure, man. I'm here to help any way I can.
I appreciate you, man. Can you share where people can find you, how they can reach out to you, companies, individual, one-on-ones, all of it?
Sure. So I'm Blake Guss on any socials and onlinemeditationevents.com. Think OME, onlinemeditationevents.com.
Put it right up here. It'll land on the screen somewhere.
Thank you so much.
You're the
really
man,
appreciate
dude.
you.
No,
you're the man.
I'm happy.
Man, bro.
Nah, we're just men. We're just two men navigating life, dude. That's all we're doing, man. I appreciate you joining the podcast. Come back soon.
Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, let's do like some.
I'd love to.
We'll do this more often. Like, let's do some updates every month, every couple months.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that.
You're the kind of people I not to say I don't like promoting everybody, but the more people need to.
I want to be aligned with you and your mission.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's do it. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.